mercy, for his grace, that we move from the law to grace. Amen. We move from the law to grace. And it's so good. It's so good to be in the house of the Lord and to worship him. And I'm telling you, that's what we need to do. The Bible says, do not give up the habit of meeting together, right? Church has a purpose. Yes. We're called to have our own relationship with God. We're called to have, that relationship with him on Monday through Saturday and all the rest of the days and in between and morning and night. Have that relationship with God. Spend time with him. Open up the Bible and read it. But don't neglect the habit of meeting together, as Scripture tells us. Because we're called to live life together. We're called to be with each other through the mountaintop experiences as well as the valley experiences. We're called to be there to support one another, to pray with one another, to give what we have to one another. Amen? And that's what church is about. And to reach out to other people as well. That's what God has called us to do. Well, this morning, we're going to we're getting ready for that video. Is it okay?
Yes.
We're going to look at a video real quick just to kind of set up the message for this morning, but we're in part 2. We're going to do only actually a 3-part sermon series on I Choose by Craig Groeschel. And today we're talking about discipline over regret. Let's watch this little video, just kind of funny video to set it up.
Opinions cost more about the flattened marriage. It's full of regrets and comes rested on a bed of half-boiled excuses and unfinished to-do lists.
Oh, that sounds nice. It's our anniversary.
Congratulations! How many years?
No idea.
We can't remember. How about dessert on the house? Tonight's selection is a low motivation pie. Well, that's our favorite. Let me get that order going. 2 years of neglect.
Ouch, right? But sadly, that's how a lot of relationships, how a lot of marriages are. And we have to do some things. If we feel like we're headed down the wrong path, we have to do some things to help change. Last week we talked about, somebody remind me, it went out on Facebook. What did we talk about? What were you choosing?
Purpose.
Yes, purpose over popularity, meaning we're going to choose what God has called us to do over what other people think we should do or their expectations of us. We're going to choose what God has called us to do. And today we're talking about discipline over regret and basically saying that I choose the pain of discipline. Discipline is hard.
Yeah.
There's pain that comes with it. But I'm going to choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. Because the pain of regret is a whole lot more pain than the pain of discipline. And a lot of times when they're teaching you how to do a sermon or how to preach, they say, start off with something funny. Start off with something funny, lighten the crowd, bring them in. Well, today I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to tell you that in John 16:33, the Bible says very clearly that you're going to experience pain. That's what it says. You're going to experience pain. Welcome to New Beginnings, where we like to make you feel good about yourself before you leave. No, but for real, we're going to experience pain. And there's some pain that is beyond our control. Right? We talked about control before Christmas. We talked about that, releasing that control to the Lord. But there's some pain that is beyond our control. A betrayal. A spouse walking out on us, or an accident that happens, or our job is doing downsizing and they let us go, and we have that pain, or your child comes home with a kitten and now you have a cat. I'm talking about pain. Are y'all awake this morning? Come on.
Yeah.
A lot of pain will happen in your life, and sometimes you have a choice between types of pain. And we can choose our pain in certain respects. And, there could be the pain of obeying parents now or the pain of consequences later. Did every parent say amen? Or there can be the pain of studying for the test now or the pain of retaking the class later. The pain of saying no to temptations now or the pain of trying to beat the addiction later. The pain of living within your means, having a budget, following it, or the pain of that you pay climbing the debt later, climbing out of the debt later. So we can oftentimes choose, and we can choose: do I want the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? And the definition of discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. I'm going to say it again. It's in your outlines here, but I want you to think about what that means. Definition or discipline is choosing between what you want now or what you want most.
Good.
And most of us, I think, know what to do. You know, I say this all the time, like, I know how to eat healthy. Right?
But
I know how to get in my car and drive to the gym. But oftentimes, we don't do what we know to do. And I think the same comes with our relationship with the Lord in many respects. We know what to do. We know to have a relationship with Him. We know we need to be studying the Word of God. We need to be praying. We need to be reaching out to other people. We need to be coming to worship. We need to have our own worship in our own homes every day. You know, we know what to do, but we're not people aren't consistent at it. And in the Bible, in Romans chapter 7, Paul tells us something that's really just an awesome passage of Scripture. Because this passage of Scripture really brings hope to us everyday folk, right? It brings hope to us because here Paul writes this passage, and Paul, if you understand who Paul was, yeah, he had a rough past, but when he came to the Lord, he was radically saved, and he gave everything to God, and he wrote a third of the New Testament. You know, he had all these awesome experiences, and yet we get a little glimpse of his heart, a little glimpse of the inside, a little glimpse of his struggle, and somehow this awesome man of God is now relatable to us who struggle on a daily basis because he struggled on a daily basis. And in Romans chapter 7 and following, it says, starting verse 15, it says, I don't really understand myself. How many of us can say that? I don't really understand myself. For what I want to do, I want to do what is right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I hate. You know, we think, I can't believe I ate that whole thing. I wasn't going to eat that whole thing, but I ate that whole thing. I can't believe it, right? So again, he says, I want to do what is right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I hate. I want to do what is right, but I can't. I want to do what is good, but I don't. I saw this on Facebook, and I won't get the right quote, and I forget even who said it. But one of my friends posted on Facebook the mark of true Christian maturity. What is the mark of really true Christian maturity is when you hate your own sin more than you hate somebody else's sin. Good. Let that sink in for a moment, right? We hate our own sin more than we hate somebody else's sin. Because see, oftentimes we can be looking at other people and say, well, they did this, and look what they did. I can't believe they did this. But yet, we're not looking at ourselves. Doesn't Scripture talk about that? You know, look, we're trying to get the speck out of somebody else's eye when we're walking around with a 2x4 stuck in our own eye. Yes. So again, though, Paul here is saying, I want to do what's right, but I don't do what's right. I hate my own sin. I want to do what is good, verse 19, but I don't. I don't want to do what is wrong, but I do it anyway. Then it says in verse 24, oh, what a miserable person I am. Anybody ever say that? I have. What a miserable person I am. Who will free me from this life that is dominated by sin and death? And he could have ended there, but he didn't. He goes on to say, but thank God, the answer is in how many times I come to church a month. The answer is in how many times I read the Bible. The answer is how many times I get on my knees and I pray. No, that's not what he says, right? He says, thank God the answer is in Jesus Christ, our Lord. The answer is in Him. He says, who can deliver me? It's not about being better. It's about Jesus. With Christ's help, then I'll change. But it's all about Jesus. He is the answer. So choosing discipline over regret, choosing what I want most over what I want now. We think, but I want it now. I don't want to think about the consequences later. And so many people follow that habit. But as Christians, we need to say, what do I want most? What do I want most over what I want now? Scripture goes on to talk in 1 Corinthians, and it says, it relates the Christian life to a race that everybody's in. And it says in 1 Corinthians, Scripture says, don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. It says all athletes are disciplined in their training. They're disciplined in their training. They choose what they want most over what they want now. Do I want a healthy, nice body, or do I want pizza? And they do it to win a prize, Scripture says, that will fade away. But we do it for an eternal prize. In Paul's day, it was sort of like, a little bit like the Olympic Games, but it was the Isthmian Games. And it was a big race. The race of the day. So when Paul was talking about this kind of race in your Christian walk, everybody can relate to this kind of race that was going on in their day. And all the athletes were disciplined in their training. So they understood what that meant when Paul was talking about it. Actually, there would be a 10-month special training. They were on a strict diet. They didn't have any alcohol, no junk. They would subject their bodies to cold and then subject their bodies to heat. They were really serious about winning the race that they were in, and they were running to win. And when in another passage, I believe Hebrews, it says, "Let us strip off everything that would hinder us in this race." Right? And the writer of Hebrews would say that that's literally what they did in this race. Is that they didn't want the clothes to weigh them down, so they would actually strip down naked to run the race. It kind of puts a whole new perspective on winning. You don't want to come in second place when you're running with a bunch of guys that are naked. Right? You guys are hard today. And so when I think about stripping off everything that would weigh us down, and when we think about, running the race to win, then that all talks about purpose, doesn't it? That all points to purpose. Where we can't, if you're running a race to win, you're not just wandering aimlessly through your life. You have goals. You have a plan to meet those goals, right? To reach your purpose. If you're running a marathon, you're not just going to get up one day, go through McDonald's drive-thru, get a couple of biscuits, and then head on to the race and say, I think I'll run a marathon today. Right? No, you plan and you train months and months in advance to shape your body to be able to run the race. And I think to myself, are we shaping ourselves to run the race that God has called us to run? Or are we just kind of going through life aimlessly? Yeah, we want God's will. Yeah, we want His purpose. But we're not really running to win. We're just kind of existing. And then we wonder, where is God? Why isn't God showing up in my situation? Why can't I do what I think He's called me to do? Well, if we're not training our bodies, if we're not training our spirits, if we're not training our minds to run the race, then we're not going to be able to do it. We're not going to be able to do it. And so I think about this, with coming to church. With coming to church, we should come early. We should come up front, and we should be coming prayerful. Don't just come in having not prayed all week. We should be coming prayerful. It shouldn't be I went to church today, but it should be I'm encountering God today. I'm encountering God today. I'm hearing from Him. I'm being transformed by his power. I'm going to minister to other people. That should be our idea of church, shouldn't it?
Amen.
That we don't come aimlessly. We don't come just wandering, yeah, we're going to go to church today. But we need to get to the point where we're coming with purpose, right? We come to church with purpose.
Amen.
Run to win. There's pain of the discipline, but there's a prize. And we need to do it now. So what I have in your outline, and I want you to ask yourself, and I literally want you to write something down, because if I tell you, go home and think about it and write it down, some of you, the paper will get lost before you even hit the back door, okay? So I want you to get out your pen. If you need one, raise it, and we'll find somebody to get you a pen. Anybody need a pen? Everybody got a pen? Look at you all prepared. Anybody? All right. So now you all have a pen, right? You're not lying in church, right? Okay. It says, so the question here I want you to ask yourself is, what do you want most? Think about it, and I don't pick something stupid like I want to hit the lottery, okay? Leave that aside. But what do you want the most in your life? Now you might think, there's like 10 things that I want. No, I want you to pick one thing. The thing in your life. What do you want the most? Maybe it's to be close to God. Maybe it is to get healthy in your physical body so that you can be more productive for the kingdom of God. Maybe it's somehow to improve your marriage, because maybe you're stuck in a rut, or maybe you have, a bad relationship with your spouse. Maybe it's to free the addiction that you're in, or to get out of debt. But find that one area, because we think again, man, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. But no, once you start to find victory in one area, guess what? You start to find victory in the other areas, all right? But if you try to hit all these things at once, sometimes we lose our perspective and we lose our drive. So I want you to think of one thing. Write it down. One thing you want most. Write it down. We need to be okay with silence in the church, too. Sometimes it's okay to be silent. What do you want most? What do you want most? And then the second thing there, now that you got what you want most, what do you need to choose now to achieve what you want most? What do you need to choose now? Not 10 years from now, not where you're going. No, what do you need to choose now to achieve what you want most? If you want to be close to God, maybe you need to choose a Bible plan and stick to it, commit to church, serve, join a small group. Lots of things that you can do to draw closer to God and your relationship with Him. If you want to lose 20 pounds, if you want to get healthy, whatever it is, maybe you need to join a gym. Maybe you need to hire a trainer. Maybe you need to get help on a diet plan, because really 90% is what we eat. The other 10 is going to the gym. But 90% is usually what we eat. Or maybe it's your marriage. You want to improve that. Maybe you need to have a consistent date night where you put it on the calendar and you plan that. Don't just expect it to happen. It won't. You got to plan it. Or maybe you need to seek counseling. Or start praying together. There's not rocket science here, right? I heard Shonda Pierce. For those who don't know, she's a Christian comedian. She's a lady that's a Christian comedian, and she was talking about having sex with her husband. And she said, well, some of you just woke up. Hello. She was talking about having sex with her husband, and she said, it's amazing how the crowd just thinks like you're talking awful. You can have somebody to stand up and say, God freed me from prostitution and God freed me from this or that, but you get somebody to talk about having sex with their husband and everybody goes, oh, I can't believe they're talking about it. I say that to say, maybe you need to have go to an NIV conference. Tell your kids you're going to an NIV conference. A naked in bed conference. Send the kids to grandma's and you're naked in bed with your spouse. Right? Some of you, mercy's sake, lighten up, people. God designed us to have intimacy with our spouses, and if that's lacking, we're doing something wrong, and we need to stop in our tracks and change some things, right? And so God wants us. This is why, that we have Super Church and Nursery. Thank you. But some things, it's hard. Discipline is hard. Choose your pain. Counseling is expensive. Choose your pain. Right? Things are difficult. Choose your pain. It's difficult to lose weight. It's difficult to go to the gym. It's difficult to eat healthy. Choose your pain. What do you want? Choose what you want most over what you want now. In 1 Corinthians, it also says, so I run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadowboxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. There's purpose, he says, in every step that I take. I'm not wandering aimlessly. I have purpose. And you might say, well, Pastor Sara, that's easy for you. Or, we might look at somebody who's telling us this, or, some great speaker. Well, that's easy for them to say, or that's easy. No, I'm going to tell you, being disciplined does not come natural for me, and I think probably for most people. Being disciplined does not come naturally. But you have to choose in life what you want most over what you want now. And, a lot of times you find the people, there's people who they're eating healthy or they're exercising or whatever. That didn't come naturally for them, right? But they took steps there. And they took baby steps to get where they wanted to be. And now things are becoming more natural. They had purpose, though, in every step. Purpose in every step. And oftentimes, we have to retrain our brain. Because our brains think a certain way. And we have to retrain it. We have to retrain it. It's like, if people who have a problem with lust, right? There's people who have a problem with lust. And at our natural core, we're lustful beings, right? That's what our natural human core, we are lustful beings. Well, as Christians, God calls us not to lust because he understands the pain and the regret that comes from that and the things that follow that, right? And so he desires us not to lust. So how do we do that? We have to retrain our minds. If you're a guy, and in our culture today, people walk around looking like, half naked and on the street. Or you go to the gym, you're trying to live right, you're trying to do right. And, there's women there who are not dressed appropriately. We gotta train our minds. They're walking that way, walk the other way. Well, but my weights are over there. Go do something else. Get on the elliptical, right? Because you have to train yourself. Even walking, through the checkout line at the grocery store. All the magazines that are there on the cover and the things that are there, the images that are there. Look down at the Tic Tacs, right? Choose what you're looking at. Don't just wander aimlessly. Have every step be purposeful. Anybody hear what I'm laying down today? Mm-hmm. And so we need Christ. We need boundaries. We need accountability. Right? If you're struggling with something, get an accountability partner. Right? Make sure they have the same kind of morals as you. Get an accountability partner and tell them, hey, I'm struggling with this. Can you call me every day, once a week, whatever it is? Check in on me. Help me to stay on the right path. We need Christ daily. We need grace daily. And it comes to daily choices that we make to stay on the right path of discipline. And with Christ's help, we can choose discipline over regret. We think about this. Maybe you're saying, oh, I want a nice yard. I want a green yard. I want a nice yard. You have to put in the work for that, right? It doesn't just happen. You have to put in the work for it. And if you're constantly, anybody know, like, maybe this is just at my house and your houses are nice. I don't know, your yards are nice, but sometimes, the driveway is not wide enough. And so we park sometimes, the wheels go on the yard, right there on the edge of the driveway. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Well, over time, what happens? That becomes an extension of your driveway. There is no grass there anymore, right? There's just dirt and mud and all of that. And that's what happens over time. Or even if you have a path that you walk, and you walk through the grass to get to where you're going. Maybe your car's parked on the street, and you walk the same path through the grass to get to your car every day when you leave, when you come back. Well, over time, there's something that happens. The grass there dies. The grass there withers. It's not meant to be walked on. And so what you have to do is retrain your mind and say, no, I want a nice yard. So it might take longer for me to get to my car, but I'm going to go down the sidewalk and go down the driveway and go down the sidewalk and then get into my car that way. And we think, well, why would I do that? The shortest path is through the grass. Well, what do you want now, but what do you want most, right? If you want a nice yard, then you're going to have to walk down the driveway, walk down the sidewalk to get to your car. And eventually, what happens is we retrain our brains and we don't even have to think that that's the right path to go. We just automatically go that path. Is anybody with me? Yeah. It's the same in our Christian walk. It's not going to be easy at first. But we have to retrain our brains to go down the right path. It might be harder at first, but we are choosing discipline over regret. And eventually, your brain eventually creates a new neural pathway. It eventually creates a new neural pathway. If I do something over and over and over and over again, it eventually becomes an automatic thing then. So look at what you wrote down to that first question. What do you want most? What do you want most? And let that be on your minds this morning. Worship team, would you come? Now here's what I want to close with. We think about, if I could only have done things differently. If I could have only taken better care of myself. If I could have only made a better choice. If I could only go back and make a different choice. And oftentimes we think it's too late. We never plan to end up here, we think. I'd give anything for another chance. I wish I'd never started that. No idea how this would ruin my life. What we need to do, and Gabe hit on this without even knowing, that I was speaking on it as well, what we need to do is refuse to be plagued by regrets. We're running to win an eternal prize. So maybe you have made the bad decisions, and you have made those, you have those regrets in your life. Maybe the grass is dead in your yard, so to speak. But I want to tell you a little bit about God's grace and mercy this morning, is that when you stay off the grass long enough, guess what? It grows back. And when you choose to give your life to the Lord now, and you choose to follow a different path now, then God's grace and mercy covers whatever it was that you did, whatever path that you were on, and you can begin anew today. But we have to choose to run the race to win. Choose to run it to win. And with purpose in every step. And with Christ's help, we can choose the pain of discipline. It hurts now, but I know what I want most. We choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. Let's go to the Lord in prayer.